Living Adaptive.
The goal is to adapt and thrive despite the adversity you face.
You're going to have that little voice inside of you trying to push yourself.
I set a vision for myself, and now I'm seeing it come to fruition.
I'm grateful for losing my leg.
There's just some things you must endure in life.
You might crash. You might fail.
You can find a purpose in your suffering.
I'm not special. I just decided that I'm not going to stop.
You do everything you possibly can.
We want to change the world.
I'm going to adapt to it and make it the way it works for me.
Take what it is from life that you want and enjoy it.
Yo, what's up, everyone? This is Scott Davidson, and just so you know, you can find out more about Living Adaptive and previous shows, context for guests, and a bunch of other good stuff at livingadaptive.com. Go there. All right, so we got Jose Martinez, and he's going to share his story and how he built his platform. And also joining us is Jacob Pacheco, and they are joining us from Oceanside, California, where they just finished up surfing, and that water has to be brutally cold. What's up, guys? How's it going?
It's freezing out there, but guess what? The waves were actually pumping, so it allowed us to get a good practice in.
He got barreled, so I had to match it, and I go get barreled myself, so there we go.
Well, we got the A team for the adaptive side of surfing right now, especially when it comes to personalities, because you two are out there a lot, and you have pretty substantial followings. And Jacob, you're life coaching, and then Jose, you're partnered up and branded with a bunch of companies, and also you're well known for what you do. To lay out who you are and where you're going, I've noticed you got some goals going into this year, especially on the surfing side. What are your goals, man? What's the end game so people can know where you're going?
The end game, to be honest with you, is to surf every surfable beach break that I can possibly surf. Even going into Jaws, if I can get my booty to wiggle right through there, then I'm going to make it happen. There really is never an end game. I don't want to ever give myself an end game because I want to surf for the rest of my life, and that's really the goal, is to be able to get my ass up every single morning and guess what? Say, hey, today I want to go surf. I'm going to go surf even when I'm 80, 90 years old. I don't see myself ever stopping. A lot of people see me in the wheelchair, but sometimes that's all they see. I see myself as a spirit. I'm just gliding by life, enjoying it, making it happen.
Now, you stepped on an IED years back and you entered the world, the adaptive world. You mentioned wheelchair. Can you briefly explain what happened and the results?
Yeah. So I was out in Afghanistan in 2012. We're walking around another regular day, and ended up stepping on a 60-pound IED. Instantly lost both my legs and my right arm. I became actually a hip dysarticulate. And when I say that, is if you touch your butt area and you touch that bone that you have, that's as far as I have. So when I woke up, they told me I'll never walk again. They told me I pretty much will never have my life ever again. And I kind of laughed at them, and I've been showing them how to fly ever since.
Was that your first deployment?
Yeah, that was actually my first deployment. That's why I went into depression so bad, because I wanted to make a change in my life, and I wanted to be in the military for 30 years. I had a plan, and I guess life hit me with a different plan, and I guess when I was in my deathbed, I promised myself that I'm alive for a reason, and I'm going to make the best out of my life. And I was really selfish before I came into the military. And when I was in my deathbed, I promise myself that life isn't about me anymore. It's about helping others. I'm still alive. I'm still able to remember everything, and I'm still mobile. So I promised myself during that time of depression that if I made it out of this, because I didn't think I was going to come out of this until another, God, I thought I was going to die in 5 years from now, and once it happened, I told myself I don't want people feeling this way. I was really lonely. I was depressed. I was lost, man, to be honest with you. And when I promised myself that, I think slowly things started changing. It took a couple of years for me to really start moving around and started feeling the way I feel now, which is I'm blessed to be here. I'm blessed to be alive and blessed to be able to help other people.
I think Jose is a great example of the phrase, life is what you make of it. And I believe that Jose took his lemons and made really nice lemonade from it. So, I think he's a really shining example of togetherness, empowerment, and I'm fortunate to know him, and he's done a lot of good things for a lot of people, and I hope he continues to do so.
Jose, you speak a lot about depression, even suicide, not wanting to be around, addiction. So there was like some significantly low points that you kind of hit on already. And you went from a position of being there, and then you spoke about to a position of where you are now. What was the process to get there? Or what was one or two steps that you did to reposition yourself at such a favorable spot compared to where you were?
You want to know what? I did two things. The first thing I did was I put myself in the corner and I told myself all the horrible things I could possibly have heard about myself. I told myself how ridiculous I was. I told myself how stupid I was. I told myself how bad I was at life. But then I also did something different. I started telling myself, hey, you're still alive. You're still here. Guess what? You're still 23 years old and you didn't die yet. You grew up in Compton. You grew up in LA. You grew up in a world where it was meant to kill you, where it was meant to take you. And guess what? You're still here smiling. There's a picture that I have that I'll be posting sometime in my lifetime. It's me, my brother, and my best friend. And it was a couple of days after I woke up and I was already smiling, but that's who I am. I have the capabilities of telling myself how dumb I am, how stupid I am, how ridiculous I am at life, but I'm still able to charge after it, even though I tell myself these things, because either I'm too stupid or I just don't care, you got to keep living. If you're here breathing, if you're here to able to move, if you're just breathing, to be honest with you, you can do anything in life, and that's the way I feel. And I got tired of doing the why me, and I said, you know what? I got a pair of twos in my hand. Let's see if I can make a four of a kind.
Yeah. So Jose, you live really boldly, as you say right there, but that comes with a little bit of backlash. And I think you're one of the bigger proponents from like getting off pain pill management, the prescription pain pills, and moving towards natural sources such as cannabis. And that has come with a toll, but it's also come with a lot of benefits too, in a sense that it's a really natural way to approach pain management, physical and mental. And I think you kind of stand out in the community as somebody that kind of put it on the line, man. What's it like to get out there and say, hey, man, cannabis over pills, and then, hear the backlash?
I don't really care for the backlash, to be honest with you. I've been so used to all my life being the underdog, being the person that, always, God, my uncle was the one to tell me I was going to end up working at McDonald's for the rest of my life,
Yeah.
And that as, yeah, right, watch this, but mentality has always been the same way. It's been from, I guess, being dragged through the dirt and just, we got no other choice but to live, right? I mean, I've experienced death. It's very painful. It's not really good, especially when you wake up, because then recovery time sucks, So that's the way I look at things. And I've been told by doctors, like, oh, you're not going to walk again. And I've been told by doctors that I have to take these pain pills. I got to take this testosterone. I got to do this and I got to do that in order for me to live my life. And guess what? These are the same doctors that told me I'll never walk again. So if you guys decide to listen to what other people are telling you, but don't listen to your own body and to your own mind, you're going to be stuck in the same place because you don't understand how to listen to yourself. I'm not here to live for these doctors. I'm here to live for me. I'm here to live for myself. That's why I became one of the first triple amputee hip disarticulates able to walk in the world, was because the doctor told me, hey, Jose, you'll never walk again. And I've been showing them how to fly.
What organizations really helped you?
Before, when I first got hurt, I actually started hunting. Me being a kid from the city, I've never, ever shot an animal, to be honest with you, and let alone shot an animal and then went to go eat it. But it made me feel great. I mean, I have a wife at home, so guess what? Hey, honey, I brought meat over, and guess what? Your husband doesn't have legs or an arm, but he still made it happen. So it's kind of like a confidence booster for me. And a lot of the organizations that help, well, there's not many because of my cannabis consumption and the way I medicate myself. But the ones that did help me was VSA. That's what they go off of, and they've Veteran Sportsman Alliance. That's what it's called, and they've been with me since day one. It's a gentleman by the name of Brett Johnson that has just helped me come back into civilization as remembering how to be human and just good, you know. And right now, from surfing, I have One More Wave helping me out, which is a veteran organization that makes surfboards for veterans so they could get out in the water. And I actually just started my own nonprofit, which is Four Season Fighters. And the reason I started my own nonprofit is because I wanted to help out veterans as well, just like myself, but not just veterans, police officers, first responders, people that have been dealt a heavy hand by helping out our communities and stuff like that. So I just want to be able to give back as much as I've been given. And I feel like that's the only way we succeed in life, is being able to give someone a spark of life or a spark of interest. So I feel like if I can take out a veteran that's having a bad time, take him out fishing or hunting and give him the tools so he can continue on, then I'm making a difference, just like other people have made a difference in my life.
Jose Martinez, you are very marketable. A lot of people want to build partnerships with you. A lot of people want to be involved in organizations you're with. And you've put yourself in a position to be someone that people want to work with, to create a brand with. What is it that you're doing to position yourself?
Scott, you know what? I'm just being myself, to be honest with you. That's all I know how to be. I figured if I try to be somebody else along the ways, I'll lose myself. So best thing I can be is myself. And what I mean by being myself is I'm so transparent. When I'm feeling something, I let it be. And I try to be positive with everybody I come around with, to be honest with you. I don't see anybody as my enemy or someone trying to take advantage of me. I feel like people that I come across, it's because either our vibrations are matching the same or they're in need of something, which might just be a boost of confidence or just some little words, you know? Or it might just be that they just need someone to talk to, which that's what I'm here for, you know? And that's really what it is. I'm not doing anything different than anybody else would be doing, but all I know how to do is be myself, and I'm just happy to be living, to be honest with you. And I'm grateful to have friends that want to take me out surfing and be out there and keeping an eye on me, you know, because it's scary out there. You know, I'm not going to lie to you. Every single time I'm out there, I look at myself and I'm like, what the fuck am I doing out here, you know?
Yeah.
And that's real honesty. And when I say that, I laugh because I'm living, you know, and I'm getting better at things that I like to do. So that's all I'm doing. Nothing different. I don't want anybody to ever do anything different but be themselves, you know?
We have strong social engagement too. It seems like you have a method to kind of give back and, build those friendships and be transparent. It seems like you've got a system in place to be part of this realm, that people could be part of your life all the way across the world, man. What's your system about? Like setting up in terms of like social media and stuff like that. How did you approach all of that?
To be honest with you, I'm still scared to this day. Sometimes I think of the things that I'm saying doesn't matter, you know, and that's my biggest hardship that I have right now, is that even though I'm so transparent, I'm still dealing with demons myself. I'm still battling through depression. This thing doesn't just go away. It's an everyday thing that you have to continuously battle. And I feel like because of my social media outlet, I've been able to help other people. So I started to realize that this isn't dumb, that people need to hear this, you know. Some people don't just go on social media just to look at dumb videos or, you know, use the internet for wrong. But I hope that the people that are following me and that are getting this message, I hope that they're actually making a difference in their community, because that's all I want. I want to be able to have this world running at 1,000%. Can you imagine if we had a world where everybody was feeling amazing? We would have an amazing world right now. You know, and that's all I ever want, and that's how I see life. And a lot of people say, oh, nothing's ever going to change, and yeah, you're right, nothing's ever going to change if you don't do something about it. So guess what? I'm just trying my best to do something about the change that I want to see.
a lot of listeners don't even know that first step to like change, to like maybe reassess their position and move forward. What do you think of, like, what do you think in terms of approaching someone like that, that just isn't ready, like isn't willing to put in the work at this point, but does want change?
You see, and for that same reason, I post videos, is because I feel like some people don't hear it, so I'm showing them. You know, how can I be a person if I would be like a 400 pound human on a wheelchair right now, not going out there and charging it because I can, you know? So I rather show them. That's why I think I'm posting so many videos now. That's why I continuously put things out there, because at this point I feel like people don't want to hear it anymore. They want to see it. Okay, show me what you're about. And that's why I mean, one of my goals in life for this year is to become part of the Team USA, to represent my country. And not only that, but to win every single contest I enter. Not because I want to beat everybody, but because I want to see how good I am with myself, you know? Mm-hmm. And then that's a competition I continue to have, is competition with myself. I want to see if I could get up in the morning and go to the gym. I want to see if I could get up and do a mile and a half of swimming. So I'm not just telling people what to do anymore. I'm showing them the way. And I think that's the change that I'm making now.
Jacob Pacheco, you went from a spot too, where like you were down, and we talked about this in your interview for listeners that are out there, and your very first interview with us, we talked about it. You know, you went from a position of like, I saw some darkness and I didn't want to be there anymore. And now you're out there and you're posting, you're branding, you're life coaching and so forth. What has kept your machine going?
I believe it's about consistency every day, or consistency in the long run. You know, we can't always be perfect every day of the week. I believe that that's a message being posted in social media now, where we're all expected to be happy every single day, every single minute, every single second. And it's just not realistic. What it's really about is consistency, the ability to navigate your valleys as much as your peaks and keep it a relative level. And that's what sustains long-term success. And in the face of extreme doubt, it's about moving forward no matter what and not giving up. And I think Jose is a shining example of that. You know, he talks a lot about that, through his words. And that's one question that I had for Jose is, what are your 2 tips that you give yourself every day to stay as consistent as you do with your personality, with your work, with what you do?
You know what? The world's going to keep knocking you down. And if you just smile through it, it's going to get better. It's changing the aspect of your views and the way you look at life is one for me. And another is keep charging. You know, we can't
always
stop.
Keep charging for your dreams and goals, baby.
Absolutely.
Great tagline. Thank you, Jose.
Keep charging. You can't ever stop. Like I don't know how to take my foot off the gas pedal, to be honest with you. Like, if I'm going to go and crash, guess what? I'm going to give it more gas. I want to see how hard I'm going to crash. And that's just being honest. Like, that's being real. If I'm going to give it my all, I'm going to give you my 1,000,000%. Like, when I went into my marriage with my wife, I gave her my 1,000,000%. I didn't do half of half. I want her to give me her 1,000,000% as well. So guess what? We have a beautiful relationship together. And I've taken every single aspect of life the same exact way. If I'm going to give it my all, I'm just going to charge after it and give you my 1,000,000%. Not 100, not 50, not 75, not 110. I'm going to give you my 1,000,000%. And that's how you should charge at life, at everything. It doesn't matter if you want to be an athlete. Doesn't matter if you want to be the smartest person in your room right now. Guess what? You still have to charge it, meaning you either got to charge waves, you got to charge after whatever your actual athleticism is, or if you are trying to become a genius, guess what? You just have to read books, continuously read books, self-educate, because you're not going to spend your whole time in school. That's not how you become smarter. You got to continuously educate yourself. So keep charging. That's the tips that I got.
So the 2 tips would be about perspective is the first one, seeing how you see yourself versus how others see you.
Absolutely.
And then the second one is about 100% commitments and not giving up.
Consistency, like you said it.
Yep.
Your message resonates with everyone, man. Do you find that outside the world we're talking about, the adaptive world, the first responder world and so forth, you're receiving good feedback for what your message is?
Oh, absolutely. I was actually speaking this last year for Veterans Day at high schools, and a lot of people ask me to speak for Veterans Day, of course, because I'm a veteran. But when I speak, I don't really speak about war. I don't speak about military life. I speak about life itself. We're all warriors of this world. And life isn't easy. It's actually very difficult. I'm not going to sit here and lie to you and sugarcoat things and tell you that life is very, very simple. Guess what? The ones that are the happiest have the hardest life to actually live. And that's how I keep everything going. It continuously reminds me of how I like to live my life. And because of the positions that I put myself in, and I can't say what's happened to me because this all happened because I put myself out there. I've been able to help kids out. I've been able to help everybody in this world out. It doesn't matter, like you said, it doesn't matter if you have cancer, if you've been bullied. My story resonates with everybody because I come from the streets. I come from realism. I come from what it takes. And the way I look at it is I'm living the American dream. Came from nothing and made myself into something. Born to lose, built to win. That's how we call it.
You're definitely winning, Jose. You have a really big story. And for you listeners out there, you want to dig into Jose Martinez? He's everywhere, man. He's in Time Magazine. He's all over. You can find his story everywhere. Fox News, many news outlets. So like to dig into your life, we're not going to get it in this 20-minute snippet, but like the reality is that you're there and you're somebody to turn to when the shit gets bad, or you're somebody to turn to when you want to know how to position yourself from a position of I'm not doing much to I'm empowered, I'm doing cool shit, come follow me. And I think that's one of the best things we can say here is that, you can move from that position where, maybe you lost 3 limbs, maybe you have cancer, maybe you're at a very bad point, maybe you don't have any physical ailments, but it's all mental, but there's a way out. There's a way to get to a position of empowerment.
More importantly, I think we also say, hey, come follow me, but we also tell them, go do it for yourself. That's what we really want, is for people to go do it for themselves, live the lives that you want to live, be happy in your own realm, in your own world. Whatever it works for you, it doesn't matter as long as you are happy and empowered to do what you need to do.
Watching you two do what you do and watching you build what you build. And I'm watching Jacob grow. And Jose, I've just started to follow you in recent times, but to see where you came from and where you are now is pretty amazing, man. It feels, I feel really honored to sit here with both you guys. And I hope you guys do make it to the top, or at least beat what you did before in your respective categories and surfing. But then on top of that, I hope you just crush it at life, man.
We're going to keep going to the top, baby.
Scott, you have no clue. This decade is going to be a whole whirlwind of a change, my brother. It's going to be amazing, because the only thing we got to look forward is up, right? That's where the stars are at, so that's why we got to keep looking. We got to keep charging, brother.
Remember, go to livingadaptive.com to find previous episodes, show notes, contacts for guests like this guest, links to social media accounts, and a bunch of other good stuff. So go there. Peace.